I'm gonna take my right hand, actually let's go for a triangle here. I'm gonna take my right hand, I'm gonna go underneath, and I'm gonna make this shotgun grip, okay? Do you guys remember this grip from the ankle lock the other day? Now I'm gonna slide down the leg.
It's like the Aoki, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do an Aoki lock, yeah. We grip here, I slide down the leg, and guys, the way I'm sliding down the leg with my grip is like so. I'm gonna form this shotgun style grip, okay? Now I'm gonna expand my arms and bring my upper body back, okay? So my arms are extending, my upper body's going back. And then I'm gonna shallow up the grip. I do the same thing again until I can get the foot onto my ribs, okay? When the foot is on my ribs, I'm ready to pull with my right arm across, and now we can go for the finish, okay? So there's 2 steps to this. The first is sliding down the leg, and then once the heel touches my ribs, look at my right arm, guys, I pull across. I pull across my center line. And out here, I lock up my hands like this, and we get this is a very, very strong attack on his knee. It's a very, very strong attack on his knee, okay? This is, so in the 50-50, we have I'd say there's 2 main submissions on the secondary leg that are very strong. The first is the toe hold, but I personally find that if you're shorter, it's harder to get that, okay? It's still very effective, but it's harder to get, okay? However, the Aoki lock you can do regardless of what size you are, right? I'm a short guy, Boogie is much taller than me, but I can still get this for sure, right? So that's an advantage of this one. I grip here, I'm gonna extend my arms, and now I extend my arms, I bring my upper body back, and now I bring the grip low again. Then I'm just gonna do the same thing again until I can get the foot on my ribs. This is the key point. Once you get this, look at my right arm, guys. I'm gonna pull that across. You could do that in a bunch of different ways, right? As long as you're pulling the arm across, if you guys show me something, you go, oh look, Rob, I'm pulling it across. There's a lot of ways you could do it. One way is you could grip here, you could pull like this. One way is you could just push with your arm, right? One way is you could grab your elbow, right? There's a bunch of different ways to do it, right? However we do it, you could grip like, kind of like the side of the ankle, right? And go like this. Ultimately, we're gonna finish with this, okay? So I'm not grabbing here, guys. I'm grabbing higher on my forearm, and I turn my palm to face me. Now, I'm gonna rotate my shoulders down, and it's very, very strong, okay? You don't have to do this with a ton of force. You guys are gonna feel when you get this, if you're doing it right, it's gonna be very, very tight. Okay, the key is I'm pulling up with my right arm, and then through my left arm, I'm gonna go like this, okay? And that's gonna rotate the ligaments of the knee and do damage, okay? So again, we're here, I pull this way, then I go here, and then I go like this. And obviously we're not actually gonna do that because I would break the guy's leg, but that's the direction we would be going, okay? Make sense, guys? All right, let's give these 2 options a try. 1, 2, 3. All right, guys, so here what I wanna do is look at a sequence from a match where Chris Wojcik goes for the Aoki lock in 50-50. He doesn't actually get the submission. There is a match in this same exact tournament, ADCC West Coast Trials, where he does get the submission. Unfortunately, the camera is turned away and you really can't see anything. So I'm not going to show that one, but I am going to show this one wherein he attempts the move, right? The only reason I even know he actually finished that one is because he told me. I was talking to him about his usage of the Aoki lock from 50-50, and I asked him if there were any matches where he actually got the tap from it. And he told me that another match in this same tournament he did, and I had watched the match, but because their backs are turned to the camera, you just literally can't tell at all what the tap is from. I had assumed it was just an inside heel hook from 50-50. Yeah, but anyway, so Chris is one of the best Aoki lock guys I've ever met or trained with. Obviously, people talk all the time about Mateusz Szczęsny for good reason. Obviously, Szczęsny's super good with this move. But Wojcik is also really good. He's really impressed me. And he's shown me a lot of very good details, which have really improved my use of the Aoki lock. Okay, and one thing that Wojcik is really good at is he uses it in a lot of very creative situations. I think I've seen him use the Aoki lock in more situations than I've seen Shashinsky use it in, right? Shashinsky's primarily using it from an outside ashi, butterfly ashi type situation. Wojcik uses it from pretty much all over the place, okay? So that's obviously, they're both very good at the move, right? I'm just saying for myself, I think I've been influenced a little bit more by Wojcik. Anyway, let's take a look at the sequence and then we'll break it down. And then his opponent gets out. But definitely a very good attempt. I think there's a lot of interesting things to take away from this attempt. Obviously, they're in a regular 50-50, right? Wojcik opens up his leg and hides his heel. I'm not sure what he was attempting here. I don't know. I don't know if this is like a setup he uses to get to this. I should ask him actually. But regardless, this is the main situation here. He's hiding his heel. He's got this leg here, the back of the hamstring here. That's something you'd usually do if you were trying to escape the position. Okay, you can use this secondary leg here to push at the back of the hamstring to escape, or you could use it preemptively to make it difficult for them to even get above your knee line in the first place. Okay. Um, and for the Aoki lock, we see here what Wojcik is doing is he's taking this arm and he's going to pull it across his center line, okay, to get the foot on the rib, which is where it presumably is now. Then he's going to connect his hands and start rotating in this direction. You can see like my mouse. That's the direction he would want to rotate to finish the Aoki lock. Okay, they roll. Unfortunately, he's unable to get the submission. One thing that is very like useful with the Aoki lock, okay, is not just going for the sub, but getting reactions. And here, I'm not sure. I think I'd like to ask Wojcik about this. I wonder if he wasn't just trying to get out of the position with this, right? Another thing you can do, okay, is this creates a reaction to get the guy to open up his legs. And then sometimes what I like to do is I'll take this knee, I'll suck it behind the hamstring, and then I'll throw this leg over the top if I can to get kind of like basically an outside ashi type situation. And that was made possible by the fact that this threat is going to encourage him to open his legs. If he keeps his legs locked there, he's getting finished. He's going to get finished with this move. Okay? So, yeah. It can be tough though, right? Like here, if you can't get that leg above the knee, that's what he's going for. Yeah, that's what looks like Chris is going for. But he waited a little bit too long to try to throw that leg over the top. Right here, this leg is fairly far from the top of the hip where he would like to throw it to, keep this guy inside an entanglement. He goes for it, but it's a little bit too late. And then he starts reaping with this leg, but he doesn't have the same like bite in terms of like the grip of his leg on his opponent's upper thigh in order to keep the knee inside the knee line. It just doesn't have that same pulling power. In this case, I think this leg would be doing a much better job of that, going inside to out to pull to keep the knee inside the knee line. I think it would be a lot stronger. But yeah. Anyway, Chris later goes on to win the match, but it's unrelated to this move.